Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Half and Half. We are in a winter wonderland. We got a lot of snow yesterday. I was singing Marshmallow World to Scott earlier, and he had never heard that song before, but we both agreed he should like that song. That seems like a song he should like. Um, yeah, we've been working through some routine for the whole semester. It's been going pretty well, I think, from what I hear. I was thinking today we'd start with a little bit of mobilizing the rib cage, getting that to move around a little bit more, and then going into the Pilates mat stuff and see where that takes us. So I'm sitting. Big surprise. You didn't know that. You can see that. If you want to sit on a chair, that's fine, or you can sit on the floor. And then we're just going to work with hands on your shoulders. And then with an exhale, rotating one direction, and an inhale, rotating the other direction. And it can have a little flow to it. You can go a little slower, a little faster. Trying not to grab your hips as you do it. Trying to leave your pelvis in place. And then come back to center and relax. Now, as you go, really think about the rib cage doing the movement and not just the elbows or the shoulders, like trying to do the movement, but you really think of like finding your rib cage and then letting it rotate. And just take it one more time. And then settling back in center. And then let's come over onto your hands and knees. And we're going to work a little bit. Sometimes people talk about like your rib cage is in a peanut butter jar. Stay with me. And you're going to scrape the sides of the peanut butter off the jar all the way around. And really think of like pressing the rib cage. You're circling it around that jar. So I go through this kind of round position. I go a little into a side bend. I go into more of an arch position with the rib cage. And I go to the other side. Circling, kind of wiping off the last bits of peanut butter. This is important in our house because we run out of peanut butter. We really have to make use of getting the last bits of peanut butter. Just taking that either direction, both directions. I'm alternating each time. Last one. And then just stay in this round spine kind of cat position. Let your head drop. Feel your hands pressing into the floor under your shoulders. And let your lower back open up a little bit. And then push back towards child's pose. And as you spend a couple minutes in child's pose, now you could take your hands under your forehead and you might make a fist and another fist on top of it. Or your forehead might be closer to the floor. But take a moment, try to breathe through your back ribs. Imagine all 12, 1 through 12, opening up. You're getting a little bit of inhale into all that space. And exhale, release it. Maybe that inhale that moves through your back also spreads a little bit into your side ribs and your armpits. And then rolling up to sitting. And let's take your feet out in front of you. Taking your hands on the backs of your legs and kind of that cat position again. Open up your upper back. We're going to set up your 100 position here. Now, one thing I haven't really shown before, but is something you could do, is to do your 100 in a more sitting up position. To take the 100 right here. It's actually a pretty cool way to do the 100 once you really find your abdominals. It's a little easier on your neck to do it there. So you might take that, or you might go into your full 100, rolling back, finding that upper body position. Either way, you're still keeping the ribs really open, the upper back really open, and starting to pump. Inhaling 5. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. If you're sitting up, you might even be able to keep one hand holding a leg while the other arm pumps. That might be helpful. Inhale, opening the back. Exhale, soften the chest. 3 more. Last one. Bending the knees, left leg out, right leg in. Inhale, lift your head, press your leg forward, feel your back ribs really open up. And then exhale, relax from the collarbones through the chest, all the way. Draw your belly in with your exhale. Inhale, let the back open again. Peanut butter jar ribs, like really opening. Find the kind of press back with the upper back. Inhale. Keep your ribs on the peanut butter jar as you draw your belly in. And then take your right leg down. Take your left leg in. Hold the back of your leg. And inhale. Head floats up. Open the back. Feel the back ribs pressing back as your belly draws in, as your leg pushes forward. And breathe through the back ribs, rolling back. One more with this leg. And then both legs out for the full roll up. Inhale 2 times. Rolling up. Open the back ribs. Keep letting them reach back. Whole back rib cage, even the lower 10, 11, 12 ribs. Keep reaching back. And last time. Feel those bottom ribs. They reach back. Mid ribs reach back as the belly pulls in. All the way back to your back. And we're going to take your arms by your side. We're going to take your leg up. Now, maybe that's a bent leg, or maybe you just stretch it straight up. Find the position that lets your belly hold your leg. Let's go right into inhale, leg circle. Exhale, around and up. Now, can you expand the rib cage through the inhale? Your rib cage is sitting in the middle of the peanut butter jar. Your inhale pushes it in all directions towards the edges of the peanut butter jar. It's a gluttonous rib cage. Wants to hit every edge at once. And inhale the other way. Exhale, shrink the rib cage. Expand it out with the inhale. Exhale, draw it in. Leg reaches open. Exhale across and up. 2 more. Now, if you want a little extra challenge, keep drawing your belly in as you lower your leg slowly to the floor. Keep drawing your belly in as you take your leg straight up, or bend your knee and take your leg up. Either way. Holding the leg up, connect to your belly. Inhale, the rib cage expands all the way around. Exhale, draws in. Inhale, exhale. And we've been working on this timing of the circle. Really pair this with this image of the breath. There's a long reach with your inhale. There's a big circle with your exhale. One more. And reverse. Long extended reach, quarter of the way. Exhale, quicker all the way around. And bend your knee. Take hold of your leg. You can do one more one leg roll up, or you could take both knees in to bring yourself up, or you might roll out to your side to come up. All right, so in sitting in your rolling like a ball position, hands on your knees or ankles, let's again do a little bit of that. Open the back ribs, cat position, reach the ribs to the back of the peanut butter jar, all 12 ribs, and then relax that position. We're going to do that a couple times. Inhale. Reach the rib cage back as you draw the belly in, as your pelvis curls under. And then let it go. Do it one more time. This time as you exhale, you're going to stay. You have your whole spine round, your back ribs really open. Find your feet coming off the floor by curling your hips under a little more. And then either your rocking chair or you're rolling like a ball. Inhale, rolling back. Exhale, coming up. And as you go back and forth, feel those lower ribs. They still reach back as your head comes forward. And if you're wondering about that rocking chair, I'll show that one. Inhale just a little ways back. Same is true as you exhale, the ribs are still reaching back and you tip back to where you started. One more time. And take your feet out for spine stretch. Sitting tall, arms reach forward. Let's take a reach up. Inhale. Feel how the shoulders lift off the ribs, give you a little bit of space. Exhale, shoulders glide back down. Rounding forward, open up the back ribs, open up the side ribs as you reach. Exhale, come back up. So as your arms reach forward, your ribs reach back. We've worked on activating the arms with the strap. So you can still use that feeling like you were pulling on the strap. Maybe you notice I switched the breath to inhale down and feel the ribs open and exhale up. It's a little different than normal. One more time. All the way back up. All right. So let's do a little bit. I'm going to sit with my legs out in front of me. That's a pretty comfortable position for me, but it's not comfortable for everybody. So if you want to sit cross-legged, you could sit cross-legged or kind of up on a stool again. You could. We're just going to do a little bit of side bending before we go into the saw. So you can take right hand down, left arm up, and then just thinking about all this side opening, reaching over, all 12 of those ribs fan out. So the lowest rib dropping down as the higher ribs reach over. And then back where you started. Opposite arm reaches up. Lowest rib is going to drop down to the floor as the rest of the ribs reach over, right? And they just fan open. Imagine all that space there. We'll take that a couple times. It's not about my waist stretching. And in fact, I kind of don't want my waistline to stretch. I don't really want to feel that I want to imagine space in my armpit and my ribs. So maybe not quite as far, a little bit of work still in the oblique muscles and the waistline so the ribs can expand. And then coming up, hands come behind your head. Let's do a rotation to the right. As you exhale, you're going to round forward like spine stretch. Hands stay behind your head. Now stay here for a moment. Breathe through your back ribs. Breathe through your side ribs. And unroll and come back to center. Same thing the other way. Inhale. Exhale in that twisted position. Roll forward. Now see if you could feel both sides of the ribs still expanding, back ribs still expanding. Not so much the belly and the chest. Coming back to center. Let's take your arms out and take the saw. Inhale, twist to the right. Exhale, left hand towards your right foot. Right hand presses up towards the ceiling. Now feel your rib cage. Even though we added your arms, your ribs are doing the same thing they did in the last one. Coming back up and twisting to the left. Exhale. Open up the ribs, draw the belly, and soften the chest. Coming back up. And inhale. Exhale forward. Now let's take that peanut butter jar again. Feel the peanut butter jar. Put each rib back on the peanut butter jar one at a time. And inhale. And one rib at a time touches the peanut butter jar behind you. I just ate some peanut butter toast, by the way. Maybe a hummus container if you're allergic to peanuts. Relax. All right, let's go onto your stomach for swan. Hands under your shoulders. Legs either hip distance apart or together, whatever's comfortable. Now, let's take, actually I said hands under your shoulder, but let's take hands under your forehead. And in this position, same thing. Now, there's just nothing wrong with breathing into your chest. It is quite a wonderful thing to do. But again, we're going to avoid breathing into the chest in this moment and see if you can feel some back rib movement, side rib movement in between the shoulder blades. Inhale. And especially now down by the lower part of the ribs. So the part of the ribs that are under the shoulder blades, more towards your waist. Can you feel them expand a little bit as you inhale? Through the back and the sides? And then take your hands under your shoulders. We're going to take a mini swan, little baby swan. And as you do, just the head and shoulders up, pause. My hands are pressing just a tiny bit, but my shoulder blades are really wide. My lower back is relaxed. Now, can you breathe into your lower ribs, back ribs in this position? And as you exhale, can you feel some abdominal support, keeping the back ribs open? And lower back down. And let's do that same thing again. Little baby swan, just peeking their head up a little bit. Little ducklings, ugly ducklings. Breathe into the back ribs. Exhale from your belly. Coming back down. Now, if you want this time, we'll take it up a little higher with that same focus. So inhale, a little bit lifted through the back ribs. Exhale as you feel your belly. Press your hands a little more. And then find your stopping point. Do another breath through the back low ribs. And then exhale all the way down. Lots to think about. You may not want to come up all the way and just like take some time to focus on these different things. Exhale from your belly. Inhale. Can you make some space in that mid to lower back place? Last one. Pushing back to child's pose. Little reach out. And flipping over to shoulder bridge. First shoulder bridge of the hour. All right, now take a moment on your back and shoulder bridge and just feel the back ribs now. They have some feedback. You can feel them on the floor. Maybe you even feel as you inhale, they push into the floor a little bit. And sometimes I find when I breathe into my back ribs, I actually feel a little more ease in my chest and it gets some movement, but it's not like a tight movement in my chest as I breathe. Let's take your arms up to the ceiling. I'm going to do hands in line with the shoulders. Feel free to take your arms down if that works a little better for you. We're going to inhale, rolling up, curling the hips under, feeling how the lower ribs peel off the floor up into about the shoulder blades. We're going to go ahead and just keep the shoulder blades on the floor. And then coming back down through the ribs, through the spine, through the pelvis. And right away again, inhale. Exhale, right as the ribs start to come off. Rolling back down, inhale. Exhale all the way down through the pelvis. One more time. We're going to stay up this time with the hips lifted. We're going to move your arms without pulling your chest up. Reach your arms up and overhead, back behind you. And then keeping them floating off the floor, circle them down around towards your pelvis. Reaching back up again. Float the pelvis up a little more. Float the arms back. Breathe through your back ribs. Exhale. Arms reach up. One more time. Maybe you can press your feet and float your pelvis a little higher while still keeping the chest soft. Reaching back. Circling around. I'm going to push my arms into the floor and then roll back down. And stretch your legs out. All right, coming up to sitting. Let's go over onto your left side. Legs right on top of each other. Feet a little forward, pelvis back. I'm going to take my right arm and drape it over the top of my head. Just going to do a little bit of side bending, using my hand to lift my head and back down. It's a baby swan to the side now, right? Just a little bit up, nice long neck. Feel like the ribs get to lengthen out a little bit. Now, if you want, keep that length, leaving your head on the floor, or keep that length and open up the ribs a little more on this left side, especially all the way through your armpit to have your head up in your elbow. Top leg a little lifted. Nice full breath in and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Now, how does the breath help you in side kicks? All this work we've been doing. What does that have to do with side kicks? How's your rib cage feel? Last one. And your legs come together. You turn your top leg out so the knee points up, out moving your pelvis back. Inhale up, flex the foot, reach the heel down. How do the ribs feel? How does your peanut butter jar look? And reverse, flexing up. Now let's bring the leg back to parallel. Tiny little circles around. Whatever your hummus or peanut butter was left in your jar from your ribs, make your toes clean it out down here, right? Hit the very circular all the way around pattern with the foot, circling the other way. Quite as attractive to eat peanut butter off your toes, I realize. Then both legs down. We're going to take your top hand, press it into the floor to lift both legs up. And lower, full breath in, open the ribs, inhale, exhale. Just two more. And then bend your knees. All right, here's the part of the exercise. Push into the floor. Bring yourself up to sitting. Now to the other side. Feet forward, pelvis back, all the way out. Nice long right side of the rib cage. Left arm drapes over your head. And exhale. Lengthen the neck out, lengthen the ribs out. Lower and up. Biddy is licking my toes. She heard me talking about peanut butter on my toes, and she decided to come over and see if it was there. Clearly, there isn't actually peanut butter on my toes. Taking your arm down. Maybe your head stays down with a long neck, or maybe you lift and feel the underneath ribs open a little bit more. Nice and fanned out there. Forward and back. Inhale. Exhale. Let the leg move. You're so supported through your breath, through your ribs, through your belly. Four more. Legs together. Rotate your top leg. Inhale up. Flex down. And reverse. Toes on the peanut butter jar. Circle around. And reverse. And legs together. Four times. Both legs up and down. And lower. Inhale. And exhale. Make your breath start the movement. Last one. Bend your knees in. Push into your hands. Come up sideways through your body to sitting. All right, folks. I see Scott getting all ready to go over there.
Good morning, everybody. So let's continue working with the same routine we've been exploring and really consolidating some of these movements into a comprehensive whole. Begin with the sumo. So your feet wide apart. And from your hip sockets, turn up. Then exhale, bend your ankles, your knees, and your hips. And then with the inhale, come on up. Down and up. So as we continue moving, keep breathing into your peanut butter jar. The next time you're down, let's do some focused work deep in the calves. Muscles that help support overall posture, muscles that help support tone in the pelvic floor, muscles that help support healthy arches, healthy feet. So to begin, take both heels up a couple inches. Then keep your right heel lifted slowly over a count of 5. Descend that left heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch, lift. Now keep that left heel lifted. Slowly descend that right heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch, lift. Back to both heels lifted. And now slowly over a count of 5, descending both heels. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact. Almost done, not quite. Take those 2 feet, push them down. Use the downward push to create the upward lift. Then turn your feet back toward the front. Still legs apart. Turn your left foot in, then your right foot out. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend and hold. That right heel up, couple inches. Slowly over a count of 5, descend that heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact. Press that foot down to come up. Back to the front. The other side. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Bend and hold. That left heel up. And slowly over a count of 5, descend that heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Contact. Downward push creates upward lift. And back to the front. Let's immediately go to side angle. Turn your left foot in, right foot out. Inhale into your back ribs. Exhale, bend. Keep your knee bent. Inhale into your back ribs. Exhale, tip. Let's change the order up this week. Elbow to knee. Elbow to knee, upper arm up. And then turn your nose to the floor. 3 breaths. Inhale up. Back to the front. Then the other side. Right foot in, left foot out. Inhale into your back ribs. Exhale, bend. Inhale into your back ribs. Exhale, tip. Mirror image of what we just did. Upper arm up. Then toward the floor, turn your nose. First to 3 breaths. Then come on up, back to the front. Side angle part 2. Left foot in, right foot out. Let's use the same breathing pattern we did in the previous version. Hand to knee. Inhale up. Second side. Same breathing pattern. Sweep your upper arm through. And just like you did it in seated, remember how you were twisting between the shoulder blades? Same sort of rotation here. Check out your ceiling. And come on up. And step your feet back together. The legs apart for quite a while, wasn't it? So now we're going to do some things front and back in the sagittal plane. Take your left foot, step it back a little bit. So let's walk. Inhale, lift your back heel to come forward. Exhale, descend your back heel to come back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. The next time that back heel is lifted, let's pause there. Then best you can, keep your torso placed as you telescope your left heel back and down without arching your lower back. And once you feel that back heel on the floor, bring both arms forward. Inhale into the back of the peanut butter jar. Now with the exhale, reach your arms up. Remember how you reached your arms up? Let those shoulder blades slide up your back ribs. And then back to standing. Second side, same thing. Little step back. Initiate the movement from the back foot. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Next time your back heel is lifted, let's pause there. Keep your pelvis and especially your lower back steady. As you reach your right heel back and down. Feel how your lower back wants to arch? That's because of tight hip flexors. Keeping that lift in your lower belly while at the same time anchoring your back heel. Maybe you're already starting to feel that lengthening or that little bit of a tug in the front of your hip. Both arms forward. Upward, let your chin float up too. 3 breaths. And back to standing. All right. So once again, feet apart. Hands on your hips. And we're going to do a couple different variations here. Left foot in, right foot out. Nothing too different there. Turn your back foot a little bit more in so you face toward the side. Again, nothing too unique or different there. Legs more or less straight. Torso more or less straight. Fold from your hips. So again, pretty standard, usual, nothing too different. So now turn away from your screen. And as you turn away from the screen, let the lower arm come to either your knee or your shin. And breathe. Inhale, revolve up. Back to the front. Revolve triangle. Second side. Right foot in, left foot out. Right foot a little bit more in, such that you face toward the side. Then back leg straight, front leg straight, torso more or less straight. Fold from the hips, ball and socket joints. Then you could either turn toward your screen or away from your screen. Turn away from your screen, toward the wall that has been behind you. Let the lower arm either come to your knee or your shin, and breathe. And then with the inhale, spiral up. Exhale back toward the front. That would sometimes call the giraffe. Legs straight, torso straight, fold from your hips. I think I hear an echo. Then when there's no more hip folding to be done, then let your spine round, including let the top of your head hang to the floor. And breathe. And roll up. And step your feet together. So today we're just going to do one sun salutation, sufficient to get to the floor. So let's make this one count. So begin feeling the floor beneath your feet. And let that floor not only support your heels and the balls of your feet, but also your toes. Explore what it feels like to spread your toes out and see if you can feel each toe individually, independently contacting the floor. Then from that rootedness, bring awareness to your lower belly. Lightly lift your lower belly up toward the ceiling. Feel how you just stood up a little bit taller? So now we're going to add some movement in. From your lower belly, out of your lower belly. With the next inhale, take your arms up. A little different breath than we often do. So sort of a sense of exuberance, lifting. Exhale, fold your spine as you've done multiple times already. Like we did in giraffe, let your head hang. Hands maybe on your shins or perhaps on the floor. The next time an exhale comes along, reach the crown of your head forward toward your screen. Long neck. Drive most of the movement between your shoulder blades. And we'll pause here for a bit. And almost like you're releasing a coiled spring, step back. Step your feet back to yoga pose, head down dog. And let your head hang so you can see that wall behind you. See that wall back there? Without moving your hands, move your butt back toward that wall. Maybe you're already feeling how that opens up your armpits, creates more length in the sides of the peanut butter jar. And then best you can, a few deep breaths into the whole circumference of the peanut butter jar. One more deep breath. And then come on down. All right. Then make your way to your back. Just like we did a little bit earlier. Just like you did a little bit earlier. Shoulder bridge. In shoulder bridge. Inhale. Exhale up. And then in shoulder bridge. Inhale. Exhale down. So all the same stuff you worked on before. It's just so good we do it twice in half and half. Let's do one more. What did you think of those arm circles and shoulder bridge? Isn't that a cool combination? All right. From shoulder bridge onto your belly. So again, something you've already done today. So hands on the floor, forehead on your hands, and a few deep breaths. And reach your arms back behind you. And then lift your legs and your torso up into yoga pose locust. Come on down. And then arms in front. So arms a little bit wider than your shoulders. Elbows a little bit lifted. Elbows a little bit bent. And then this time the legs stay down. Press your hands to lift your head, to lift your chest. Notice how your elbows automatically straightened out. So keep your elbows straight as you pull yourself forward and breathe. And then come on down. Press up to hands and knees. And back to yoga pose. Head down dog. Let's do 3 deep breaths into the perimeter of your peanut butter jar. And then come on down. Find something to sit up on. Could be the floor. Colette can sit so easily on the floor. When I sit on the floor directly, my hip flexors lock up. But if I sit up on a cushion, then I don't have as much tension in those hip flexor muscles. Other people find a chair allows them to sit upright without undue tension in the hip flexors. So setting up as works best in your body. and do some breathing exercise. Focus on lengthening the exhale. So it takes a longer time period. What we're doing is we're changing the ratio of inhale to exhale. Spending more time in exhale tends to catalyze parasympathetic outflow that helps shift the nervous system from fight, flight, freeze response into rest, digest, regenerate mode. Keeping that ratio such that you spend more time in the out breath. Now let's breathe through each nostril individually. Begin by bringing your left hand up, block that left nostril. We're going to do the same breathing in and out of the right nostril if congestion allows. And switch hands, switch nostrils. And then back to both nostrils. And with this exhale, let go of all the breathing techniques, ratios, whatnot, and return to normal breathing. All right. I think that's our time for the morning. So nice to be with you all. Before we part for the day, any comments, any questions? All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us today, and may have a great rest of the weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.